Here's a practical roadmap for finding and spreading hope, and we're on day 2, which is mindset. Today, I want to focus on the power of the second thought, because the victory of hope is in the second thought. The battle is between our ears, and the victory of our minds, that's the key battle when it comes to hope. Now, we all have first thoughts that come into our mind, and sometimes those first thoughts, they're not true, they're destructive, they're discouraging, they can lead to despair. And none of us can really control the first thought that comes into our minds. But we get to decide, are we going to believe it? Are we going to entertain it? Are we going to harbor it? Are we going to hold on to it? Be ready with the second thought, and you're going to become an expert at replacing those thoughts. Let me give you an example. When I was sick, the thoughts that would come into my mind, they were some of the worst thoughts I've ever had. And sometimes they would have a theme, like you're not going to make it, there's no hope for you, you're all alone, no one understands, no one's with you. And so I had to choose, and for me, I chose the fact that God is with me. He's never going to leave me or forsake me, and nothing can separate me from His love. And I would take the first thought, that sometimes maybe it was a suicidal thought, and I'd replace it with what's true, what's right, what's noble, what's good, what's excellent. Those are the thoughts I'm going to choose. And I know it takes time to get into this practice. Here's the sequence: from unconscious incompetent, you don't know what you don't know, to then conscious incompetent. You're aware of it, but you don't know how to do it. But then there's conscious competence, which means you're starting to be able to do it, but you have to try really hard and think about it. And then there's unconscious competent, which means that you're doing it without even thinking about it. Like when you tie your shoes right now, you know how to do it, you don't think about it, you just do it. And it can become like that with thought replacement. So what happens is there's this progression, and instead of just receiving first thoughts and believing them and holding on to them, you become aware that you've got an option to replace. And then you start to replace during the day, and as you start to do that more and more every day, pretty soon it's going to become quick, it's going to become natural, and it's going to be creating a new mindset. We need our minds renewed. When it comes to hope, we don't want to stay status quo in the same ruts and patterns. And with our thinking and with our mindset, we've got to be intentional. And the victory of hope is linked to your second thought.